Okay guys, welcome to Talking News. Please subscribe, hit the like button right now so you don't forget. Also hit that notification bell if you would like notifications of new uploads. So right now I'm just gathered up a few faces I wanted to go over and a few stories I kind of wanted to get out there and at least kind of put on this channel. And right now Chicago seems to be one of the top places where we're having problems with teenagers, especially girls, going missing. So we definitely want to raise awareness and document what we're finding out. Sadly, some of these stories don't have a lot of details, but I want to start off with this story. And so this story is coming out of Cleveland, and this article says that a man is facing charges after allegedly hiding a teen girl who was reportedly missing from the Cleveland area in west suburban Riverside. The man's name is Juan Acacampo, 39, and he is charged with one count of harboring a missing juvenile and obstruction of the police officer, as well as endangering the life of a child. And that's according to the Riverside police. Investigators say that they have been searching for the 16-year-old for at least a month, and she was missing approximately a month when they finally found her. But how did they find her? According to this article, the family and the police, when they were speaking to the police, said that the girl's family had actually tracked her phone and iPad to Riverside after she fled to Chicago. What we're hearing is authorities eventually pinpointed her location to the apartment and where she was being held in the first block of East Burlington in the Riverside area. Okay guys, so get this. Police said that once they kind of targeted where she was, they kept going up to the apartment, knocking on a door, where they were met each time by Acacampo. And he allegedly said he didn't know anything about this missing girl. And really, the police officers said they did not find the girl inside that apartment. They looked around, but there was just nothing showing that she was there. And they suspected that she was probably been hidden somewhere else. So around 8:30 p.m. on a Sunday, officers stopped the suspect's vehicle as he was dropping off people at a location in Burlington. And once they stopped that vehicle, they found the missing girl sitting beside Ocampo's daughter. He told police that both girls were his daughters. So once police confirmed that this is the missing girl that they were looking for, she is taken into protective custody, where she was further confirmed to be the girl they were looking for. Of course, the girl was given an examination where police say no outward signs of abuse were found. According to this article, she was treated at the McNeil Hospital, but officers who interacted with her said there were obvious signs of physical abuse. Of course, once she was found, her family drove from Cleveland to Riverside shortly after she was found and took her back home. Now, I was reading this comment that was written on this article, and it says that detectives had hope that she would stay in Riverside for follow-up questions and forensic testing. So it sounds like the family refused to do that, and that's not good. They really do need to make sure that girl's able to give the investigators everything they need in order to take care of or press charges that will actually bring justice for that girl. Anyways, what they're saying is Acampo allegedly told authorities that he was a minister associated with a religious organization that helps children from abusive situations. And according to Acampo, he said to the police that he was helping the girl and he was not hiding her. So he was protecting her from abuse of some sort, allegedly. So hopefully the police took this all in and is investigating the family as well as Acampo, because you never know. I myself think they should not have released that girl to anybody until they confirm she wasn't being abused at home. because this is probably something he preyed upon in order to get her, in his custody. Anyways, he allegedly admitted that he knew she was missing and lied to officers. The investigators are saying that Ocampo's relationship with the girl is very unclear right now. Now get this, guys. Ocampo was released after posting bail. And like I mentioned, when you have somebody that's kidnapping children, they find her in his custody, why the heck is he out on bail? Just like the Azid with Anaya Blanchard, there's so many cases like this, and so now he's out and free to harm again. This has got to stop. So a little bit more on when the parents took her home. So the parents, according to this article, they took the girl home saying that she was too traumatized to remain in Riverside to aid in the investigation. I think investigators should have not let them parents have that child as of right now until they could prove that they were not abusers like this guy was accusing them to be. And it just seems like they're trying to control the situation, which is a sign of that. Not saying it is so, but I hope that investigators are looking into her case completely. Hopefully she isn't having troubles at home. Maybe this is just a lie he's making up. But we are glad that she's home and doing fine. So next up, so we do have this very young 15-year-old Precious Vazquez. I hope I said that right. That's Vazquez. So Precious has been missing since October 25th of 2019. She is described as a Hispanic of 5 foot and approximately 150 pounds with brown eyes, black hair, and an olive complexion. Precious was last seen wearing a dark hoodie with dark stretch pants. According to investigators, she sometimes hangs out in these areas around South Street, Lewis Avenue, West 63rd Place, Summit, Oak Lawn, and Burbank. I wasn't able to collect very much on this young lady, but yeah, she's missing still as far as we know. So also coming out of Chicago, they're looking for a 17-year-old girl. She's from the Woodlawn on the south side. Vontae Arnold was last seen Thursday near the 6100 block of South Woodlawn Avenue. So this is according to the Chicago police. Sadly, they say that they don't know what she was wearing. There's not much information on this child, and this is kind of upsetting to me. She is approximately around 5'7" and 180 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. And they are saying if anyone has any information about Arnold, to contact, detectives or Crime Stoppers. But guys, what's concerning to me on this story is I've looked and there's no pamphlets out for her. There's nothing for this child. It's like nobody knew who she was. So I am asking you to please, definitely on this story, push Vontae Arnold's face. Push her story, guys. There's not a story other than she just disappeared. If anybody knows of her or knows anything about her, please email me, comment me, let me know what you know about this story. Okay, so moving on to the next one. So I wanted to mention this one so that at least have it on record. This young lady, 15-year-old, was reported missing from Eaglewood, and this is on the south side, but she has been located. So her name was Kaylee Childs. Okay, guys, so there's a 14-year-old that was reported missing in Homan Square, and that's on the west side. So Leah Vaughn was last in contact, I guess, January 9th, and is missing from the 3600 block of West Fillmore Street, according to the missing persons alert from Chicago police. Aliyah is 5'1", about 100 pounds, brown eyes, black hair. Again, this is another girl with no clothing description provided. Sad, sad, sad. Absolutely no story on her. But anyways, if you've seen her, please contact authorities and let them know. So as you notice, there is a ton of girls having problems in Chicago, and people coming from Chicago abducting children in other places, bringing them back to Chicago. It sounds like the people living in Chicago need to start standing up to the leaders and telling them we need something done. We're having, it's an epidemic pretty much, and it's a huge crisis problem going on in Chicago. Got a lot of kids that seem to be neglected. They're not really having great nurturing from the parents. This is something where the community needs to kick in, develop organizations where they can, offer these kids places to go, and you can nurture them to grow up to be productive adults. And, the time that I come from, that's what you did in communities. You had things going for kids like this that are kind of not really getting nurturing like they need. Anyways, going to the next story. This is not a race crisis. This is not diversity issues or anything like this. This is straight up American young teenagers, women, men, boys, girls, all suffering from a very huge growth in kidnapping, and God, there's so many other things going on. And whatever is predominant in that area, of course, that's going to be the higher numbers that are affected. One thing I do not support is, this thing where they try to separate people. Our Indian women are having trouble, or this woman's having trouble. No. This is happening all across the United States of America. It's not targeting one specific group. Everybody is affected by this. This is a national problem, and it affects every area in this nation. And if you're a true human being, your heart goes out to each and every child, doesn't matter what color they are. And you can always tell about that community because if you look in the support area, look in the background, see who's in the background, who's there supporting that missing child during vigils or whatever. And you'll see who plays an active role as far as being supportive. And you definitely have to have a supportive community in order to tackle these type of issues. And you can't do it separately. You have to do it together. So moving on to the next story, which is this is sad because they did find answers, but I wanted to share it with some of you just in case. I don't know how many people are familiar with that, the missing girl or woman out of Schaumburg. I hope I said that right. Anyways, she had been missing and ultimately found in the back of her car, deceased. So the family hired a private investigator to find the 34-year-old, I hope I say this right, Debawala. She was found on a Monday night in the city's West Garfield Park in that neighborhood. I just wanted to get this out there. There's really not a lot on this story either right now, but it is out of Chicago. And this is something I want people who live in Chicago especially to understand, and also the people of this nation. Chicago and Alabama are having an epidemic crisis. So this is a very sad ending for this young lady. I'm sorry I don't have more on her. Okay, so an only 14-year-old, very young, Sanaya Johnson, 5'4", 110 pounds, with brown eyes, brown hair, is missing. According to police in this article, she was last seen wearing a gray Calvin Klein hooded jacket, a blue and white short sleeve shirt, blue jeans with a brown belt, and a white Air Jordan shoes. According to another article, Johnson was last seen in the 6200 block of South Artesian Avenue. Sorry, guys. According to a missing persons alert from Chicago police. So there's really not a lot more information than that on her. We're just putting her face out there, a little bit of information of what we could gather, and then asking anyone who has seen her to contact, the Central Detectives at 312-747-8380 or Crime Stoppers. Hopefully we can get some information come in soon. This is starting to get out of hand, guys. We got to figure out what in the world is going on with our youth in that area. So our next woman that's up, she's 35 years old. She's missing from South Chicago. Latrice Carter. She was last seen December 13th in a 7900 block of South Exchange Avenue, and may be in a medical facility listed as Jane Doe. So if you work in a medical facility somewhere in South Chicago, pay attention. They're looking for this 35-year-old. Okay, so Chicago police are looking for another teenage girl who has been missing for nearly 3 weeks from the back of the yards on the south side. I don't know how to say her first name. That's Jatziry. Lopez, 17, was last seen January 20th near Damien Avenue and 47th Street, according to the missing persons alert from the Chicago police. So according to this, Lopez is approximately 5 foot and 125 pounds with brown eyes, brown hair. She was last seen wearing a black sweater, blue jeans, and black Vans shoes. There's really not any other information on her. So if you have seen her somewhere, please contact Crime Stoppers or the local police. It's just they keep coming. They're just not stopping, right? Guys, it's getting really bad as far as, everybody can see it. They're saying that kidnappings are not rising, but they are rising, and this is becoming an issue. And what I'm finding is the majority of these, the kidnapping is where gangs, cartel are on a rise as well. So guys, I have to go ahead and call in this right now. I want to ask you guys to share this video, share their faces, share their stories, and hopefully we can get some of these girls back home safely. I want to ask also that if you notice that there are parents out there that are not paying attention to their children, or they seem to be neglected, make sure that you're not afraid to call the CPS or let somebody know. I am just amazed by the amount of children out there that are neglected. And you see them, they're reaching out, they're lonely. A lot of them go through social media, they're reaching out. And those signs are, a lot of times, they suggest suicide, or they're just looking for attention. It's absolutely just sad. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.